Hello friends, are you sick and tired of all these drummer jokes? Why do they exist? Why do we have to endure the dumb drummer myth? It's because a lot of times this is well deserved. One of the main reasons that we get this thing, you're not a musician, you're just a drummer. Why does that happen? Many times, beginning players run into this very damaging insult, I think. And what it does, hopefully, is make you think about your role in music. Many other times, it's just not constructive criticism, right? It's just somebody being mean. Now, when I was a kid, I heard this joke a lot, oh, it's just an ignorant drummer, just keeping a beat back there while we actually play music. Now, it's something that really jolted me. And I think I was about 11 years old when I first heard this type of thing. And it really jolted me because I didn't understand how people could be so mean, of course. And I didn't understand what it meant, actually. Now, one of the biggest reasons that this happens, I mentioned before, just keeping a beat and not knowing anything that's going on in the song. Let's just analyze what that means. In music, everybody knows that there is this thing called tension and release. It's one of the basic compositional principles in music. Now, chords. Our instrument doesn't have the obligation of playing a chord. We do, but we don't physically sit there and play a chord. I'm going to give you some simple ways to combat the dumb drummer myth. Don't be that guy. Don't be like a trained seal, just playing beats back there and doing a million fills anywhere, filling up the sonic space like a wind-up monkey. The first tool you will need is the knowledge, actually, of tension and release. Now, when you take a composition these days, let's say you take a real composition, a pop tune, usually they're written in 8-bar segments. Some segments have 4 bars, some have 12 maybe. Whoa, if they're real tricky. A 12-bar blues has 12 bars, right? What you want to do is stay within the parameters of these structures. Don't do a crash on bar 2, right? Don't do a fancy hi-hat trick on bar 3 when there's an 8-bar section. Keep the tension in your playing and release it at the right structural points. How do you do this? You do this using something called structural markers. A structural marker can be as simple as a hi-hat variation. A variation on the bass drum. A little bit of ghost note variations, adding to enhance going into the next section and communicate that this first section is over. Those are called structural markers. You want to be able to keep the tension for an entire 8 bars or 16, whatever it is, right? And you want to pace yourself. Pacing means sticking to an idea and not letting that idea go until you reach the structural point in which the music is changing. Just to review, again, what you do is you use structural markers, okay? An easy fix. Maybe nobody's ever told you that. Nobody told me that when I was 11, right? They just say, just keep the beat, just play simple. In one breath, they'll tell you, oh, just back there keeping a beat, and then they'll say, keep it simple, just play the beat, right? So, the next thing you can do is understand your role in the different styles of music. Let's take, again, a very simple structure, which is a 12-bar blues, okay? I see guys making this mistake all the time. Doing a crash on the 9th bar after 8 bars. Don't do that. Maintain the tension of 12 bars, okay? That is a tension. As soon as that's over, that's the release point. The cymbals are instruments to mark the release of tension, okay? That's one of the roles. The most important thing is understand basic compositional tools of music. Fills communicate that the music is going into a different section. A new section is coming up. How do you tastefully make that transition? It depends on how big of a transition is coming up. Okay, if you're doing a verse and suddenly another verse is coming up, you don't want to do a gigantic fill there. You want to do something subtle to indicate that that structure is coming to an end. If you're going into a solo section, guitar solo or whatever, then you might want to do a bigger fill. Coming out of the guitar solo, going into a more mellow part, you want to transition with that in mind. If you're going to end the song, depending on the composition, again, the ending might be big or it just might end, you know. You have to use your musical ability to discern whether you're going to do something big or small. But generally, an ending is something that you could play out a little bit more. All right? Now, you'll notice that everything I just said is based on musical values. I never said play 8th notes or play 16th notes or play paradiddle or play, you know, right left with kick drum, and nobody cares, okay? Nobody cares. So the next thing you have to do is to develop musical awareness and taste. For God's sake, you have to develop taste. How do you do that? You have to listen to a lot of music. You have to talk to older musicians. You have to be involved in composition. Try to write a song. See what comes up for you. Understand that when you write a song, you have something in mind, and the last thing you want to do is have somebody come in and poop all over it, right? That's what you're basically doing when you're filling up the sonic space with fills and crashes everywhere just because you don't know what to do, right? Again, to develop musical taste, talk to experienced musicians. Talk to people that are better than you. Try to get them to tell you stories of their failures, because those stories of failures are invaluable learning tools. There was a great trumpet player in LA. There is a great trumpet player in LA, Howie Shear. When I was going to school, he told me this thing that I'll never forget. I was trying to do a fill and set up this figure in a 3-horn band arrangement. And he said, "What are you doing? Don't try to make musical history in 2 bars. Just play the song." Don't try to make musical history in 2 bars. Okay, that was invaluable. Although it took the steam out of me a little bit, I understood it after the rehearsal. Your ability as a musician is what is going to create your musical history, not the fact that you played a gazillion notes in 2 bars. If anything, that's going to be very damaging to your career. Okay. Friends, I hope that you liked this video, and if you want to know more, I highly suggest playing with my Inner Clock 2 system. For that, you'll need to join the lesson site. When you join the lesson site, $250 for the entire year. You have me as your personal coach during your whole membership. We have also the lifetime membership, which is $500, and you get the same support from me. You're just always a member for life. The Elite program is a very, very intense program, which you're going to spend 3 hours a day with me online for a week. And we're going to dive into every single thing about your playing. We're going to break it all down. We're going to renew you. We're going to make you a new person. All right. That's what the Elite program is about. And it's not about being an elite player. It's about being an elite musician, an elite lover and student of drums and music. Okay. So I hope you really like this video, and peace out.